For Syunik, the Crossroads of Peace is a long-awaited milestone. For many years, we have heard about the strategic importance of Syunik, but in reality, the region's population has never had the chance to feel the positive effects of that importance. It was more like a forbidden fruit, one that will now become accessible, and it is as vital as oxygen for the economic development of the province. Indeed, Syunik has been at the epicenter of regional processes for many years. But given the newly created opportunities, we can already say that the entire economic landscape of the province is going to change. Naturally, the direct beneficiary of these changes must be the local population itself, which is finally getting the chance to experience these advantages firsthand, in a positive sense. The North-South Highway is a novelty in every respect. Even looking at its scale, it is hard to imagine that such infrastructure can be built amid Syunik's mountainous terrain. This project is unprecedented and highly significant in several ways. First, it is a highway built to international standards, which will cut the trip from Megri to Yerevan by about 2 hours. Saving 2 hours is of immense importance and, naturally, cannot fail to have a positive impact on the economy. On the other hand, the road in use today is extremely winding and, depending on the weather, often becomes simply impassable. It also carries serious safety risks. Traffic accidents happen frequently because of the poor road conditions. With the new highway, these problems will be resolved, and life in Syunik, particularly in Megri, will change substantially. The link between the region and Yerevan will become faster, safer, and more comfortable. The North-South Highway will mainly consist of tunnels and bridges. Right now, the 32-kilometer section from Agarak to Kajaran is under active construction, and construction of the Kajaran tunnel will begin soon, allowing traffic to bypass the highest mountain pass in Armenia. After that, work on the section from Kajaran to Sisian is planned to begin. I will refrain from naming final completion deadlines, as this is a massive and complex project, but I can say with confidence that each completed section will be put into operation immediately. In fact, the economic relations between Armenia and the Islamic Republic of Iran, which are growing day by day, make the situation even more difficult, since the existing roads cannot properly handle the flows, and this slows down real development. The North-South Highway, together with the modernization of the Agarak Customs checkpoint, offers a great opportunity to drive economic cooperation between the two states at full capacity. Today we face severe logistical challenges. On top of that, on the sharp bends we have major problems with trucks: wear, tear, and breakdowns. Most importantly, the huge number of trucks in the mountain passes creates a serious environmental problem in terms of emissions. Once all these investments are completed, we will be able to give new momentum to development between the two countries. The Megri, Kajaran, and Sisian communities of Syunik province will be directly within the project's zone of impact. At the same time, there is already strong demand for acquiring land in the areas near this road section and across Syunik province in general, because various investors are already planning to build large logistics centers. At this stage, demand is very high, but we do not yet have final decisions, because all of this has to be organized properly so that we can manage the situation effectively later on. In fact, the logical starting point of the North-South Highway is the Agarak Customs checkpoint. Today, the checkpoint's capacity cannot keep up with the existing economic potential. We can often see queues stretching for kilometers, which cause serious problems both for the inspection process and for overall throughput. It no longer meets today's demands, and within about 1 to 1.5 years, the modernization of the checkpoint will be fully completed. As a result, we will have a checkpoint of an entirely new standard that meets international norms, which will shorten inspection times and increase throughput. The infrastructure in Agarak will be of an entirely new quality, scale, and capability. In the same area, simply in an expanded form, 10 or more lanes will operate instead of today's 1 or 2. It is truly interesting to watch how the region's population is preparing for this development. which, to be honest, is hard to picture. The same happened with the North-South Highway. Until people physically saw what it was about, they could not even imagine it. TRIP project is in fact the central program of the Crossroads of Peace. And while people know that a major positive change is coming, they still do not fully picture its scale. Full understanding will come when what we are talking about becomes visible on the ground. All of this will substantially contribute to the development of the mining sector, where today enormous time and resources are spent on both supply logistics and the transport of concentrates. Heavily loaded trucks struggle to get through the mountain passes and winding roads, and the new project will take that problem off the agenda. Considering how much will be saved, for the mining industry, this will become an extremely profitable reality in terms of both time and money. The sector will enter a new phase of development, and its representatives are among those most interested in carrying out these programs. In today's world, there is especially strong interest in mining, minerals, and metals. The Svarants iron mine is no exception. There are many interested parties, but the government of the Republic of Armenia, seeing how these opportunities are developing, will not rush. A strategic approach must be taken toward this and other subsoil reserves. It is possible that we will not touch on this topic at all in the near future, because there is already great potential for the next 10 to 20 years. But the fact that there is global interest in subsoil resources is undeniable. This is our wealth, and I am confident that the government will make the right decisions at the right time. The second major project with the Islamic Republic of Iran is electricity export. The infrastructure work will be completed soon. The problems that came up along the way have already been resolved, and Armenia will be able to export electricity to Iran on a large scale. This too is a very important strategic program in the context of cooperation between the two countries. Over the past 8 years, more than $450 million has been invested in Syunik province. Work is currently underway on more than 40 schools, dozens of kindergartens, roads, streets, and water management infrastructure. This pace of development is unprecedented in every respect. Although we often cannot fully carry out projects because of limited implementation capacity, enormous investments are being made in every direction. The main focus is on infrastructure, specifically major road repairs, which generates great interest among investors. At the moment, there are various applications to build large logistics centers, including from Iran and from certain European partners. There are proposals to allocate areas of hundreds of hectares for oil refining and mining-related production. These matters are still under discussion and will be coordinated with the relevant government agencies. Investment interest is at its highest level, especially in Megri. I think there is hardly a family in Megri that has not heard, in one way or another, about the existing interest in acquiring land. This has already had a significant impact on real estate and land prices, and it is a clear indicator of the major developments expected in Megri and in Syunik province.